PEI was our original destination when we began planning this trip a couple years back. I had convinced everyone, though, to add a few more provinces on to extend our trip from 1 week to 2 weeks. But the 4 days we spent in PEI were action-packed. This was supposed to be the beginning of the school year for the kids, so as I was planning, we made sure to add in excursions that were intentionally educational. My sister had made the decision to continue homeschooling after the pandemic, so this school year began with one of the best field trips ever. Learning, it can happen anywhere. Our first full day in PEI began with a tour of the Canadian Potato Museum. This would be the first of many museums we would do during our 2 weeks on the road. We come from a farming family and live in farm country, so learning about things like this interests us. It's actually an interesting museum with lots of information on potatoes and their role in this province's story.
That's how many potatoes are produced in each province. So which province has the most produced potatoes? By rotating the potato crop with cereals and forages, the following man.
Hey Coop, come sit on this tractor.
We then made our way to the most northern part of the island to explore the unique landscape. It was very windy, so there were lots of waves lapping against the shore, reminding us of just how mighty the ocean is. On the way back, we stopped in Summerside for a late lunch. We had fish and chips and some yummy lobster rolls overlooking the harbor. We also walked around town through the shops before stopping for some ice cream at Holman's Ice Cream Parlor for a birthday treat, since it was Mom's birthday. It was a tasty stop and not a bad way to spend a birthday. Before we started all our day 4 adventures, we began our day with a breakfast at the Red Rooster. There wasn't much open as we were there just after tourist season, but we were able to find a few spots to enjoy some meals, and this ended up being our go-to for breakfast. Day 4 of our trip was all about one of PEI's #1 draws, Anne of Green Gables. Jen had been reading the books to the kids the past year, and they were in love with the story and the life of Anne. Both Jen and I also grew up reading these books and watching the shows, so this is much for us as it was for the kids. A lot has changed since I was there 30 plus years before. The museum part with all the artifacts and behind the scenes information it provided was all new to me. We walked the grounds before taking the opportunity to see the house itself. We also visited the Anne of Green Gables Museum, which holds so much more information and artifacts from Lucy Maud Montgomery's life. We got a more intimate glimpse into her life and all that inspired her to create our beloved Anne. We also stopped at Avonlea Village, and we're really disappointed. The whole village itself was mainly just turned into shops and restaurants, which is not exactly the Avonlea vibe that we were hoping for. Also, it was all closed, which it seems it shuts down after Labor Day weekend. So, yeah, slightly disappointing in this one. We didn't stay long. We also stopped at Cavendish Boardwalk for a little bit of quick shopping and a treat. Again, not much open, and it was quite quiet due to the fact that it was after tourist season. We then moved to the beach at Thunder Cove for the afternoon to relax and enjoy one of the province's other draws, the ocean and red sand beaches. This was the kids' first time in the ocean, and they had a blast. After a stop back at our cottage and a quick change, we headed into Charlottetown for a lobster dinner on the harbor. Cooper has become a seafood lover on this trip and was super excited about eating this delicacy. We ended the night with a walk by the water before heading back to our cottage for the evening. One of the nice things about traveling with family instead of alone is that there's something to do at night instead of just watching a few shows or movies. We had brought a bunch of games with us and spent many of our nights playing a few rounds of something before turning in. We've always been a big gaming family, and this made for cozy nights in our home away from home. Day 5, we spent the morning touring around Charlottetown. We began by walking the streets, but after seeing a horse-drawn carriage tour, the kids asked if we could do it, so we went ahead and booked ourselves one. We ended up with a private tour that was super informational and fun. Our tour guides shared so much about the history of this city, which is the birthplace of Confederation. It turns out that adding in educational aspects to a trip is much easier and way more fun than one may think.
We have 3 main industries here in Prince Island. That's fishing, farming, and tourism. All that kind of stuff, but our biggest staple is potatoes. It opened up in the 1800s. It actually only cost a nickel to stay. And when you came in by tall ships, you were greeted by gates and 6 large cannons. We were very welcome. Years ago for $1.8 million. It has 14 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. Up in the top was known as the Widow's Peak, and that's where you could go up and watch your loved ones as they sailed out to sea. Haunted place here in Charlottetown.
The rest of the day we spent at Brackley Beach, soaking up the sun, splashing in the waves, and relaxing in the sand. It was a nice break in our busy schedule and a great way to recharge for the next chapter of our trip. After a dinner at Boom Burger and a stop at the Cows Creamery, we headed back to Victoria by the Sea for our final sunset in this charming province.
Be welcomed by our friendly and energetic team of guides. Cows team.
PEI was a magical place, and we very much enjoyed our time exploring and experiencing what it had to offer.
I made the guy. You're at the beach.